Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mass Formation Gnosis Radio, the America Unhinged podcast on Spotify, Google, and other platforms. Tonight, I have my good friend Nate from the Reality Czars Podcast.
What's up, y'all?
They're the first people to put me on, so I really appreciate you reaching out to me and all that. But just go ahead and give a brief intro of your podcast and what you do.
Sure, man. I'm not good at plugs because I'm normally asking people to give plugs. You can find me. I think every social media. I don't have I'm not on Facebook because fuck Facebook. But you can find me on Telegram. You can find me on Twitter. Probably too much. You can find me on Instagram. I think everything's at Reality Czars Pod. And then you can find our videos on Odyssey. I think also at Reality Czars Pod. We just started putting videos out, and then Reality Czars Podcast. You can find us. I think we're using Spotify or Anchor right now to put things out, but I'm probably gonna find a new thing because fuck Spotify. But you can find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, everything.
Yeah, we'll definitely
Podcast Addict.
We'll definitely talk about Spotify and all that nonsense here in a bit. What is your what would you say is the best description of your podcast? You have really good anarcho-capitalist takes. I feel like agorism, and you also get really great interviews right now. You've had Sal the Agorist on. You've had Jason Bassler, I think, of the Free Thought Project. But just tell me what you would like people to know about your show.
My show's all over the place, man. If we're just there to have interesting conversations with people, last night we just had a lady on where we were talking about Nephilim human hybrids, and she's a doctor. She's legit. She's smart as fuck. She was super cool. But I'm also going to be talking to Scott Horton next week. So we go to serious things that are, you can touch, feel. And then we also we touch into crypto, we touch into the spiritual, we touch into the conspiracy world. So we just want to have fun. We want to have interesting conversations, and that's what we're doing, man.
And that's very much what I'm trying to do now. I spent a year goofing off. I felt on YouTube, figuring out all the
that's
things.
Fun too. We goof off a lot.
Yeah, and now I just kind of made a promise to start doing interviews and trying to do an MMA podcast now, and trying to do man on the street stuff. But out here in Albuquerque, it's really hard because the politics is quite confusing out here at the moment. That is for certain.
We're a little crazy up here too, man. We're we're in commie fucking zone right here. We're in just outside of Portland, Oregon.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll talk about that too. Yeah, crazy shit going on. But a couple of the topics we're going to talk about tonight are Ukraine, Russia, Joe Rogan. Those are the main ones. We have a couple of other random quick hits that are trending, I feel like. But I want to go ahead and share this video. I don't think it's too long. Let's see if I can get this to work easily enough. I think this. How's that work?
Looks good.
Did you see this reporter mentioning straight up Alex Jones confronting this I think he's a Secretary of State or Assistant Secretary of State. Did you see this clip?
I think so. Yeah. So this is the journalist is calling him on his BS. I want to see actual evidence.
Yeah.
Is this
So I thought we'll go ahead and share this for a few minutes, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Russia continues to engage in disinformation
campaigns.
You've
made an allegation that they might do that. Have they actually done it?
What we know, Matt, is what I have just said, that they have engaged in this activity, in this planning activity. But let me because obviously this is not the first time we've made these reports.
Does Ned Price have an IMDb?
4 weeks ago.
I'm sorry.
That's a good question. He looks like a little pencil neck. He looks like a little pencil dick. He looks like a Fed man. Look at him.
We have information.
Fed boy.
Russia also has already prepositioned
Jack Posobiec is in the background.
A false flag operation in eastern Ukraine. So that, Matt, to your question, is an action that Russia is already taken.
It's an action that you say that they have taken, but
look how pissed he is.
like a woman.
And
I've heard this audio probably 10 times, but I've never seen the video.
Crisis actors, really? This is like Alex Jones territory you're getting into.
I just appreciate the shout out. Shout out Alex Jones.
Some propaganda film in the making.
Matt, this is derived from information known to the U.S. government, intelligence information that we have.
Embolden Alex Jones.
I think you know.
Okay, well, where is it? Where is this?
My favorite part is where he calls out weapons of mass destruction.
Classified information.
Oh God!
I just delivered it.
No, you made a series of allegations and statements.
Would you like us to print out the topper? Because you will see a transcript of this briefing that you can print out for yourself.
That's not evidence, Ned. That's you saying it. That's not evidence.
Come on, Ned.
What would you like, Matt?
That's how you know you lost.
That you can show that
Matt, you have been
that shows that the Russians are doing this. Ned, I've been doing this for a long time.
I know that was my point. You have been doing this for quite a while. You know that when we declassify intelligence information, we do so in a means.
He's like turning red.
Right there, mic drop. I remember the WMDs in Iraq.
Not going to fall. I remember a lot of things. So where is the declassified information other than you coming out here and saying,
like, what is up with this
Matt,
Freemason
like
scarf, though? What is that?
The format, it's the content.
I'm sorry you don't like the content. I'm sorry you are doubting the information that is in the possession of the U.S. government. No, what I'm telling you is
they're showing flat Earth in the background there.
We are making it available to you in order for a couple reasons. One is to attempt to deter the Russians from going ahead with this activity. Two, in the event we're
Shout
not
out Colin
able to
Powell,
do that, in the event the Russians do go ahead with this, to make it
rest in peace,
to lay bare the fact that this has always been an attempt on the part of the Russian Federation to fabricate a pretext.
Yeah, but you don't have any evidence to back it up.
All right. We don't gotta.
That is an interesting scarf.
Huh. And here's this article right here that I found too, just from yesterday. Could U.S. intel of Russia's false flag in Ukraine be part of Putin's plan? The U.S. intelligence community has been buzzing lately with talk of a potential Kremlin plot to stage attacks against Russian-speaking Ukrainians, part of an elaborate plan to fabricate a pretext for military operations against its neighbor. But current and former insiders tell Newsweek that signs of a so-called false flag operation may have been intentionally fed by Moscow to discredit and distract Washington. One former senior counterintelligence officer who worked against Russian intelligence told Newsweek that it could not be ruled out that U.S. officials were the target of a deliberate ruse by Russia.
Yeah, false flags and false flags. I mean, there's definitely a false flag happening. It's just not the one that you're talking about.
Yeah, this is obviously kind of like second or third degree. Like this is like double or triple agent kind of shit, right? It's like we're going to pretend there's a story of a false flag, get everybody amped up, and now there's all this talk today about everybody backing off and Russia backing off. And I want to get your thoughts on it. I'm going to give you my take really quick.
Sure.
Like I studied a little bit of Russian Eurasian politics in college. I try to refresh my memory, but the only thing I remember the whole time was that it's incredibly lush farmland. It's a giant country in Europe. It's the second largest country in Europe.
It's the breadbasket.
Yeah, exactly. And they've had always an independent spirit, but they're trying to westernize and get more in touch with NATO, the EU right now. And I wonder if this is like Russia's kind of I don't know if it's a last gasp attempt or if it's like a strong arm attempt, but to kind of keep Ukraine in sphere of influence, because in 2024, I read that Ukraine is going to apply for EU membership, which would take till 2033 to actually realize.
33.
So, yeah.
Who's going to watch those?
Yeah, that's interesting, right? That's a different talk for sure. But I mean, what do you think? That sounds like the most logical explanation, right? Russia's trying to head this shit off 10 years ahead of time.
If you see the history behind it, it's this. I think it was Gorbachev, right? It was Gorbachev, and it was what's his name?
Perestroika.
Well, no, I was thinking of the American guy. What the heck is his name?
Prior to all that.
What the fuck's his name? He used to be an actor. tear down this wall. Who the hell is that guy?
Reagan.
Reagan. There you go. So Reagan and Gorbachev had talked, and they had basically made an agreement that like they had split Germany in half, and they said that NATO won't go east of Germany and the Soviets won't go west of Germany. And so they had basically shook hands and made a verbal agreement, and they didn't get it in writing. And that has always fucking tore up Russia. So the USSR fell, and Russia, I don't know, man, I guess they still think that the NATO needs to hold to that, even though, I mean, they're Russia now, not the USSR. But so NATO has been eating up all of those former Soviet countries, and Russia's very weird, man. And they're very nervous, and they're very nationalistic, and I get that, and they want a buffer between us and NATO, and they understand that any of those NATO countries, we're going to put nukes in and for defense purposes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so we're just like creeping on their doorstep, and so like, according to that agreement, we shouldn't have taken any, like Lithuania, Estonia, any of those we shouldn't have taken, but we did. So NATO took those. And so Putin has basically drawn a red line and said, this is where shit hits the fan. I don't think he wants to take the Ukraine. I don't think he wants to take it. I think he just says, get the fuck away from it. This is like the last little piece between you and I. Like, we want to have a buffer zone. And that's kind of the way I see it. And I think that Joe Biden is obviously not in charge. He's not even in charge of his own faculties. But I don't think that he has the strength or intelligence to take down Putin. Because, I mean, whatever you want to say about Putin, Putin's not stupid. Putin's smart. Putin is calculated. Putin's been making relationships with tons of countries.
Yeah. And
I mean, I don't even think that the majority of NATO would take America's side in that. Like, Germany wants gas from Russia.
Yeah, that's a big part of Nord Stream too.
Mm-hmm. And so, and Turkey wouldn't get involved. And then there was another one. Was it Belarus that said, fuck you?
Belarus is I heard that they're backing Russia in a bit.
Yeah, they were like, suck my dick.
No,
yeah,
I heard they're backing Russia.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that they're saying that to NATO.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're saying fuck off, NATO. And so if they're not going to have a united, it's just going to show more weakness in America. So I bet they're just going to stand down. And same with Russia. They're going to try to save face and back down.
Yeah. So this is interesting. Kind of want to chomp at the bit to talk about this here too, because even though I do agree with a lot of what you're saying, but the reality is, I think that the stats are that Russia's economy is about the size of New York.
Yeah, they're tiny, man. They're not a threat. They're a regional
probably
threat.
Desperate, right? They're probably is this a move of desperation, or is this a move of power by Russia?
I don't think that they want. No, I mean, personally, I don't know, maybe, but I don't think so. I don't think that they actually want to take Ukraine. I think they absolutely could if they wanted to. I know that the eastern parts of Ukraine have a shit ton of Russians in them already. And they those type of people are Russian, speak Russian, they're culturally and ethnically Russian. And even parts of that asked Russia. They took a vote and said, we want to be part of Russia. Will you annex us? And Russia said, no, this is going to be a giant fucking headache. Fuck off. So, I mean, I sincerely don't think that they actually want to conquer Ukraine. I think they want NATO to quit fucking with Ukraine because if you look at Obama got caught, basically he got caught overthrowing the government there, and he installed and he was propping up actual full on brown coat Nazis. But these guys, Sieg Heil, these guys called themselves the Nationalist Social Party of the Ukraine. America's been and we did that because they're very nationalistic and anti-Russian because they're very pro-Ukrainian. And so we're oh, great, we'll work with Nazis. And just Operation Paperclip, man. We have no fucking scruples. We have no morals. We have no high horse we can sit on. And so it's whatever. It's just, I think Russia said back up, bitch. That's my guess.
I'm just, I think a little bit to what you're saying too. I think we're kind of saying a little bit of the same thing, but I think that they're desperate for some more like trade access to the West. Like,
well, absolutely. And I think that they're going to back down. You're right. I think they're going to back down so that they can build that pipeline to Germany, because they absolutely want fucking trade. And the last thing they want is for us to put sanctions on them again. Whether or not, I mean, I don't even think Germany would abide by it, frankly. But I think it would get ugly, and it would be, dude, I think honestly, we're watching the start of World War III. I sincerely do. I think that we're slowly getting there. You're seeing Russia, you're seeing Germany fuck around. You're watching right now, Japan is actually building a military when they had been explicitly considered pacifists, and they haven't had an army or a military in, I don't know, like fucking 70 years, and now they're fucking building one.
How did that be? I thought we had the
told them they couldn't
over them. Yeah. I thought we told them they couldn't. I thought we told the fuckers they couldn't.
They're balling up, dude. Everybody's balling up. Like, Turkey's not playing ball. Turkey's fucking buying weapons from whoever. Turkey bought a bunch of weapons from Russia. Like, Iran, China, and who the fuck is the other one? And Turkey. And I think maybe even fucking India. No. China and India don't get along. I think it was Iran. India will be on our side in this world war, probably. But it was Russia, it was China, and it was Iran. They're all doing like, oh shit, I can hear me like crazy. Do you hear my echo?
Let me exit that out. Are you all right now?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, weird.
So they have all been doing like military exercises together. So can you hear me?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just trying to deal with some other shit here, trying to get some stuff lined up and make it all right.
Yeah, live radio.
Yeah, seriously.
But anyways, man, I think that's going to be the Axis. That's going to be the Axis powers. I mean, I don't know. China and Russia have beef too, but I think that they obviously are going to, like, an enemy of my enemy is a friend sort of thing. Like, I think that America has definitely worn out its welcome.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. We had a moment there under the last administration where we kind of like feel like we had a touch for peace, but I feel like Putin's kind of just been like, kind of like fuck y'all at this point. It's kind of been just
because we've been cunts, man. I mean, they literally wouldn't let him do it. Like, I actually think that Russia and America could have gotten along.
Yeah,
they were working
right there. We were like, so close, but
it would benefit everyone if we would.
What I wonder is if, like, I mean, there's not. What I think a lot of people get kind of like complicated on this issue, especially people that aren't in tune, is like, I think a lot of people are misguided in thinking there's like a Russia-China kind of potential alliance there. But I think Russia's trying to position itself against China and against the West in this whole.
Why would they do that strategically?
Format. Who, like, Russia or China?
If they're China. I mean, Russia. I mean, if they are hungry and ambitious, that's the biggest fucking market in the world. It would be China, and they're right next to each other. It'd be stupid.
I feel like China's overrated right now. I think we're pretty worried about it.
We shouldn't be like. We should definitely be watching China. But to be honest, man, like, their economy sucks too. Like, they're a fucking paper dragon. Like,
no doubt,
tiger. Like, they have you seen the most of their country is in like fucking shambles. And dude, I'll tell you a story. My brother-in-law right now is in China, and he's working for some fucking company. I don't know. They offer him a lot of money, so he flew out there, and we all told him don't. Like, we were like, you're stupid. Don't do that. Like, he was working in South Korea making a fuck ton of money. So anyways, he goes to China, and dude, so he's in some sort of quarantine, and then he tested positive somewhere along the line. I think he got it in the airport or something, right? So they put him in some fucking like state hospital that's like almost like a prison. Like, he counted, there was like 16 cameras on him in one single room. Like, he's in one room. It's Jesus just him. Christ. There's 16 fucking cameras, like, from every fucking angle. Like, it's just fucking weird, man. And so, like, they were like feeding him like crusts of bread and shit, and then like giving him like, dude, it was fucked. And he was in there for like ever. And they were testing him like twice a day. And anyway, so he's finally, I think he's actually going to go back to quarantine now because he's tested negative enough times. But like, dude, that place is an authoritarian hellhole. Why on earth would you want to go there?
Dude, thank God for like Michael Malice, but we're going to talk about him later. I didn't tell you about that, but he's right now having on somebody who's in the middle of a giant controversy. We'll talk about here tonight. Yeah, it's quite fascinating. I want to go ahead and get to the Joe Rogan thing because I kind of teased a lot of people with it, I think, on this.
Yeah, man. But let's talk Joe Rogan.
He rejected the deal from Rumble.
Rumble?
Yeah, and then I guess he was doing like a stand-up special last night. I tried to find video of this, but there was no video available from the comedy show. But he just said I'll just read it because I'm not sure people can read this on the YouTube.
No, probably not.
Yeah, it says, a battle podcaster Joe Rogan said he isn't planning to exit his Spotify deal to bring his popular and controversial show to Rumble, video platform startup catering to right-wing personalities. This is from Yahoo. Let me see. He says, no, Spotify has hung in with me inexplicably, Rogan said in an answer to an audience member's question about whether he was taking Rumble up on its offer, as reported by THR. Let's see what happens. But then we go to Twitter right here. I don't know if people have followed this vocal distance thread, but this is evidence of a political hit job. This guy went deep on it, and he found this a channel called Patriot Takes on Twitter. Apparently they're linked up with Midas Touch, which is a Democratic super PAC. But just the second part of this thread says the video compilation of Rogan saying the N-word was dropped by Patriot Takes 6 days ago. You see the video in the tweet in pick 1, and Patriot takes credit for republishing the information in pick 2. That they take credit is important. You'll see why shortly. And 3, who is Midas Touch? Well, they are a professional political organization. In fact, they are a Democratic super PAC. More on that in a moment, run by 3 brothers. And it's like hard to explain all this because this is like a 16-tweet thread. So we have a Dave Portnoy. We're 42 seconds in. He went on Midas Touch channel to talk about all this. And they get right into it. Dave Portnoy is not fucking around. He just
I like Dave Portnoy.
He's the shit, man. He's like Dana White.
Dude, I never knew him from the sports shit. Like I missed that whole thing. The only reason why I knew anything about him was he does pizza reviews.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and so I caught one of those and I just started watching his pizza reviews. He's fucking great. And then I learned who he was. I was like, I didn't even know he was famous. I had no idea who the fuck the pizza guy was.
Dude, this will give you like, this is going viral right now. Probably be a bigger deal in a day or two, but like, we'll watch this for a few minutes. Like, it's a 44-minute thing. We can't watch it all. We'll go on for like maybe 3 or 4 minutes, but he does not back down. He's like you
Why
said,
would you, dude? Like, he has fuck you money.
He has
also, he has
money.
like people fucking love him. Like, no one gives a shit what these fuckers have to say. Nobody gives a fuck.
No. Yeah, this is great.
I saw a chain where I think it was Andrew Schultz, maybe. He's like, who's behind it? And then there was a 10-thread chain basically going down who they thought was putting out the Patriot Takes, basically. And I read the thing, and
what do you mean by putting out the Patriot Takes?
Who's behind Patriot Takes?
Oh,
But you believe that Patriot Takes, that they are behind everything related to Rogan?
No. This is simple. I just said the Patriot Take video with the mashup, right? 1 + 1 is 2. Well, this is easy so far, right?
Yeah. The video that Alex Jones made.
The Patriot Takes video.
The one that Alex Jones.
They keep claiming Alex Jones.
Patriot Takes is the headline, right?
Yeah, so actually the video that
Patriot Takes, it's just the Patriot Takes account, right? That's all we're saying.
Yeah,
Patriot
so what
Takes,
people don't
Patriot
realize,
Takes, Patriot Takes, Patriot Takes. I'm just talking about the Patriot Takes video.
Yeah.
Let me explain.
Patriot, Patriot Takes. I read a thread. It was a Patriot Takes video, correct? Can we admit it was not tweeted from Patriot Takes?
Yeah, it was from Patriot Takes.
Well,
not a Patriot Takes video.
Was it posted on Patriot Takes?
Patriot Takes reposted.
Was it posted on Patriot Takes?
It was posted on the Twitter account.
Was it posted on Patriot Takes Twitter account?
Hey,
Yes
let
or no?
us have a word, Dave. It
You
was
asked
posted
me a
from
question how it
I know,
started. I'm
and we're answering. I'll
You
tell you how it
literally
started.
asked
Let
me.
us tell you how it started. Let us tell you how it
Was
started.
it on Patriot? No. You asked me how it started on my
Yes,
end. How
it
did
started
I
with
get?
Patriot
I
Takes.
didn't know who you
It's an
guys were
Alex Jones
5
video.
minutes ago.
Alex
I
Jones
didn't know who you were
posted the
5 minutes
video.
ago.
Alex
I'm telling you
Jones
the
posted
chain
the
of
video.
events.
Alex Jones
Go through the
Alex Jones posted the
Go
video.
through- go through the-
Patriot
go
Takes
through the
reposted
chain
the
of
video.
events.
Patriot
It turns
Takes.
out that
Patriot
this
Takes is
started
how I
out-
saw it.
Actually, yeah, that's how you saw it.
Just
But
a
you know
lot
what
of
we
yelling,
do?
a lot of
And
super
Rogan, whatever.
defensiveness.
I don't listen to Rogan. I've never talked to Rogan. Like, if people want to not let him, great. To me, it's a non-Rogan issue. So I read that thread and I saw the Patriot Takes. That's where I saw it. Now you guys are going to go with Alex Jones, whatever, fine. I'm telling you what I saw. The video mentioned you three. I'd never heard of you.
The
but
video
that
didn't mention us three. That thread that came out this morning mentioned us three, is what mentioned us three. The Patriot Takes never mentioned us. Patriot Takes.
Buddy,
is-
are
So
you
we'll just stop there, because if you go through this Patriot Takes and Midas Touch, it goes straight to Neil Young, Blackstone, and all these other groups, and they're starting to use these YouTubers to start to influence the conversation, such to cancel him before the midterms. What do you think's happening with this Rogan thing? You think they're trying to silence him before the political cycle gets going, or what's your take on it?
Dude, I just think that they want to fucking take out anyone that is against the narrative. Why I think they hate him so much is because, I mean, if you take the numbers that they give, it's something like 11 million viewers per episode, and that's like a minimum. That's like the median. Some of them are way fucking higher than that. A couple of them are lower. That's like 100 times, not kidding, more than like what's his name, Brian Stelter will get.
Jesus Christ, that guy's a fucking monster, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. He's a fat
God,
little
he's a
gross
creature.
pig.
Fucking
But
creature.
my dude, he's gonna get like at least 100 times more views than like what's his name, Don Lemon, or the other dildo on that show. Like why he's hated, dude, is because he's not necessarily the mainstream. He's not necessarily controlled. I mean, you can argue whether or not he's kind of controlled, but he's not controlled in the same way that like straight up Project Mockingbird gets his fucking like thing from the CIA what to say.
Dude,
right?
You nailed what I was about to ask. He was like, is this their attempt to try to get him into the establishment, but to see like how far he'll apologize? And
and it's really fucking sad. They're
right?
getting him to, at the very least, they're getting him to tone it down. They're going to make him second guess who he gets on a show. They fucking took down over 100 of his episodes, and he's just going to sit there and spread his butthole and say, "Okay, Daddy."
But he's
like,
in a way,
he's Joe Rogan. Like,
right.
I love Joe Rogan.
His opinion is
Rogan.
kind of right. Like, he's kind of like, my opinion about the N-word is just like, I don't know why black people say it to each other. Like, Mexicans don't go around saying what back to each other, and if you do, you're going to fucking fight. Like,
what's up, Beaner? Like, I don't know.
Whether you're
matter.
half white or half Mexican, but like, if somebody comes up to you as a like, you just don't.
Mexicans do that shit. All the Mexicans I know
deal with that.
And the fucking half white boys get called pocho, and everybody gets.
Oh, I got called gray a lot. They call me, you're not white, you're not brown, you're fucking gray, eh? And I'm like, you're kind of right. Or Gumby. They like calling people who are mixed Gumby.
That's a new one I've never heard. Maybe that's a New Mexico thing.
That's probably a New Mexico thing, bro.
But I mean, straight up, like,
So
here's the thing. I think comedians should be able to say whatever they want. More so than that, I don't think that there should be any fucking word, that is off limits to anyone. Like, you can, I mean, there can be consequences for it. If you're gonna fucking say that to some big black dude, you're probably gonna get your nose broken.
But it's like,
and you probably deserve it. But like, I don't know, man. I'm not playing their fucking cancel culture bullshit. Here's the thing: is like, I liked his apology if he was talking to a sincere person. These people are not sincere.
That's-
These people are not offended. These
right.
people are fucking motivated, politically motivated, and they want to get your jugular. So fuck them. And I will
That's
never
right.
apologize to those fucks. If I hurt an individual, if I say something that hurts an individual, I'll be the first one. Yeah, cancel culture. I'll be the first one to apologize if I hurt an individual's feelings that I respect. Now, this left woke fucking pieces of shit, you can eat my ass. Fuck you.
Yeah, seriously. It's like I still who did some it's I still go back to the same thing where Jason Whitlock was talking about this on his channel, where he's like, you know, what's the first thing like a black person says to like another black person before they kill him? You know, it's like, I just smoked that N-word, you know, and then they want to cancel Joe Rogan for like quoting the use of the N-word. That's kind of the point.
Here's the thing, man. I don't like, besides India RE, like, who hasn't made a fucking relevant. Anyway? She made like a song in like 2003 that maybe like a couple people listen to. Like, nobody gives a fuck about her or anything she has to say, but like, she's the only black person I've heard that's been offended by this. This is a fucking left, like white liberal fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's no doubt. And Neil Young, like, I was very curious about this because I sat there, I think we all sat there and watched it for like a week and a half, right? Week and a half, 2 weeks. We were like, oh, let's see where this goes. Then just chilled out. Then all of a sudden, boom, the supercut by Patriot Takes drops, and NDRE's like quoting it and tweeting it in an Instagram and all this nonsense.
I'm kind of bummed about Neil Young, dude. He used to be, if you look him up, man, he used to be like non-GMO. He used to be like, fuck vaccines. He used to be like, I'll die for my fucking freedom. Like, he was like a freedom fighter. And now he's a fucking cucky pussy.
What the fuck happened? That Blackstone hypnosis.
It could be. He also could just be getting old. He could be just like, I mean, it could be the Blackstone thing where they basically own the majority of the rights to his music, and so he's probably getting a payday. And or he'll, I don't know, maybe he fucked a kid when he like 20 years ago, and there's a video of that, and they're like,
"Whoa, is that true?"
I don't know. I'm not saying that's true.
God.
I'm saying that maybe.
I'll take a hard maybe.
This is 100% true. Neil Young fucks kids. I will die on this hill.
Whoa, that's insane. Let's get to something else that's insane, but not as insane. But
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm getting your YouTube taken down.
We'll see what happens. Maybe one of them, not the other one. We're just looking at a suspension on the other one, if that's possible. Let's see. Canada's capital is jammed. Its border crossings are blockaded, and there's no end in sight. Apparently, they're blockading the border. Is this a psyop or is this a real movement? I've been trying to gauge both sides of this. It seems like it's happening, right?
It's both, man.
Do you think it's happening in the United States? Do you think it's about to come here?
No, I don't think so, because I don't think that we're going to have to. So essentially, I mean, if America was going to do it, we should have fucking done it 6 months ago. All this proves is that Canada has more of a backbone than us.
Yeah.
Neil likes him young. I love it. Okay.
He's a troll.
I'm a troll too, so I dig it.
He's also my best friend.
So what I see happening basically is this, man. I think that there are some sincere fucking folks that are fighting for their freedom there. I think that there are some heartfelt fucking truckers and some real Canadians, like true not red-blooded fucking Canadians that are working their ass off, like real fucking hard workers that are saying fuck you and fuck your backs. Unfortunately, I think that this is also being fucking manipulated, and I think they're kind of being used, and I think that I don't think that this was grassroots, and I don't think that they're going to get the same coverage if it was. Like, the revolution will not be televised. You know what I'm saying, my brother? Now, what I think is going on is I think that once this all cools down and rolls over, I think that a lot of people might get prosecuted, like January 6th. I think they might call these people terrorists.
This is like their January 6th.
Yeah, it kind of is. And what I think is going to happen afterward, too, is they're going to say, we can never let this happen again. And I think that this is going to be useful for them to say, like, we can't let people be able to shut down trade like that. This is like exactly why we need Elon Musk's self-driving trucks. And so this is going to give us this is also going to be good for them so that they can say, hey, we need all this infrastructure money so we can build these highways so that these self-driving trucks can go and they can deliver and they're more efficient and they don't have to sleep and they can't fucking honk for like a month on my doorstep.
Oh my God, that's a good take.
I don't know, man. I shout out to my homie Moral Bob. He's the one that fucking blackpilled me on it. I was like, God damn it, you're right.
Man, that's a really fucking good take. I didn't even think about that. But I was just thinking, like, in a country with like 30 million people, that's what is it larger than the United States or at least
mass wise? It could be. It's pretty fucking big, dude.
But logistics is like a super big problem there. It's like their biggest problem is energy and transporting goods. And this would totally be like
this shut them down, man.
This would be the perfect test run. That's the perfect place to run this test run for like an electric semi-technology. Like, let's see what kind of terrain you could go through. Let's see what kind of hardship this AI can. If we can get the job done.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's really what I think is going on behind the scenes. Yeah.
It always comes back to
Skynet. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Terminator is more human than human, man. That shit's a crazy fucking thing. I don't know.
But, I mean, I will say that there are weird little small victories, if you want to call it that. Did you hear the video of, like, whoever the Alberta fucking... I don't know what they call their politicians up there. Like the minister of fucking of Alberta, he basically said like, we're dropping all this shit.
Yeah, no, they're dropping the mandates because of some of these truckers. But you saw Trudeau being
where I go. Trudeau's being a bitch, man. He really does look like it. He does look like
exactly like fucking Castro, man. Like, oh my God, that nose. And I'm the guy with the nose, like my father's. Like, I know how this shit works, right? Like, just look at it. Like, people, that's my father's
I got my dad's nose. But to be honest, man, like, I don't know, man. To me, like, we can call this a victory, but I don't think I think this is them giving a fucking apple when they took away a steak. God damn it. You know what I mean?
There's so much
they took away a goddamn steak. And we've been bitching about it. And they're like, here's an apple. Shut up. Go home.
Well, speaking of apples, you got a perfect segue, sir. How about some crack?
Hell yeah.
Crack pipes. Truth behind Biden administration smoking kids program. He had to come out and do a PR campaign today.
$30 million. $30 million to give people crack and meth pipes.
And Jennifer Saki had to come out there and say, like, no,
and Black History Month. They're giving pipes away.
She was like, no, it's not crack pipe. It's just the stuff to prep the crack pipes, like lighters and alcohol wipes and like lip balm. Like, they're giving these motherfuckers lip balms so they don't crack their lips and bleed on the pipes. Like, what is this? Is this Marxism 101 or what do we have here?
I mean, I'm not trying to be too much of a dick, but who gives a fuck about crackheads? Since when do we give a fuck about crackheads? Since when did the U.S. government be like, crackheads?
Well, they want to sell more crack. That's why they're out the kids. It's like at my job, when we want to sell more massage oils.
That's what my wife said. She's like, they're trying to protect their investment. That's exactly what my wife said. They're like,
that's exactly it. Oh my God, that's exactly what they're trying to do. And I just want to just go ahead and show this clip from Alex Stein. I think it's relevant, but it's him trolling the Portland City Council on how I
have seen this. This is great. Yeah.
Chill place ever. So I just want to have some fun for a while, for a few minutes. before we get back to depressing shit. The like, share, subscribe, Reality Czars Podcast.
That's all for me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for being here today. Next individual, please, keel in item 62.
There's fucking Ted Wheeler, our piece of shit.
Alexander Hayden.
God, what an
to
asshole.
address council regarding vaccine.
He's like our mayor.
Mm.
His name's Ted Keller. Oh, shit.
Is it freezing on us?
Dude, both my screens went out for a second. Hold on.
No worries, man. I'll keep
weird.
talking so we don't fuck up. We don't create dead air. I watched this video. It's
What
funny
happened?
as shit.
Man, this is very bizarre for me. Do you see anything?
Yeah, it looks all fucked up, man.
Oh my god.
Dude, we're over the fucking target and they don't like it. This is the feds. They're shutting you down.
Dude. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix this right now.
YouTube's pissed.
It's so bizarre. Do you see my face or anything? I'm trying.
Yeah, you're in the corner. Yeah. Now I see my pretty face. That's all I see, though, is me. Tonight we are drinking some Red Label Johnny Walker. Cheers, everyone. You see the Agorist flag behind me? Salute. Buddy, we still live? Are you still there? Is it just me? Apparently, I have taken over his channel. So, hey, everybody. This is Nate from the Reality Czars Podcast. And I've taken over the Cosmic Marauders fucking feed here. I don't know when he'll be back. So, let's talk conspiracies. I don't know if people can even comment on here or not. Let's see. What do you guys think about aliens? I had a guy on a couple nights ago who was real big on the aliens. And then I also had a dude on, that's the next video that I'm going to put out here pretty soon. I think I'm going to upload it to the pod. Shout out to Moral Bob. Hey, here we go.
Am I back?
You're back, buddy. I don't know if I've been recording the whole time, but I've just been telling people to watch our latest video. We have Moral Bob on. Moral Bob is an awesome dude, and he came on to try to convince me that the Earth is flat. And that was a really good episode.
It's more of like a dome or a realm.
Yeah, it's all of those things.
That's what I think.
I'm still agnostic, but I don't like discount that it fucking could be. How the hell do I know? I mean, but more so, like, he did kind of point out a couple of things. That's the thing about the flat earthers, is that for the most part, flat earthers are fucking smart. They do their fucking research. They can point out all the fucking flaws that NASA and all the lies that NASA tells, because they're all full of shit. Never a straight answer, NASA.
They're Nazis.
They're Nazis, man, for sure.
That's the fucking golden word that gets you banned. So I should be careful.
But what he said, and try to look at this the next time, like, you're in the city, because you live in Albuquerque. Right? I don't know how big of a city that is.
It's like 800,000 now.
Yeah, that's a pretty big city.
Pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. So,
did you guys get to see that Portland video at all with Ali Stein, or did that not show?
Never played.
Okay, cool.
It's a great video. You should try it again if you want.
Let's do it. Yeah.
But here's the last thing I'll tell you about Flat Earth. Look at it for all your audience. Look at, like, if you look at a big city, if you see the skyline, like within, I think he says within like 10 miles, you should be able to see you if we were on a round, because we're around this way, we're around this way, we're around this. You know what I mean? You'd be able to see a fucking dip. And he says everything in the skyline will be parallel. Everything is fucking flat. And that to him is like the most simple way to red pill people and just say, we live in a fucking flat realm, whatever this is. So who the fuck knows? All right, let's watch.
We'll get back to that for a second, but just I grew up during the Phoenix Lights in like 97, like 98 time when I was a kid, and that shit was real. That's all.
What are those?
Like when those fucking like 5 like triangular UFOs like all lined up around Phoenix, around South Mountain and like Arizona, like there's like millions of views of like people out there with their camcorders like filming these UFOs.
I had a UFO encounter. Me and my wife had a UFO encounter, and it was pretty fucking. I can't explain it. I have no fucking idea. I'm not saying it is aliens. It could be some fucking military technology,
no
kind
doubt.
of crazy fucking drone thing flying up there. But who the fuck knows?
Could be from within the Earth instead of from without.
It could, absolutely. I mean, the Earth could definitely be fucking hollow.
All right, let's check out this troll. I tried to get this started. That was a weird coincidence.
That's all for me. Thank you for your time.
It fucked up right there.
Thank
the
you
last
very
time.
much for being here today. Next individual, please key in item 62.
Request of Alexander Hayden Stein to address council regarding.
I'm trying to get him on the
vaccine
show.
approval.
Let's see if he's watching tonight.
Alexander, are you able to unmute?
Yes, can you see me? Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm clear.
Okay. Yo, I just want to say, hey, I'm a member of Antifa, and listen, I was in Texas. I had a wife. She worked at a bank. You know, she worked there for 11 years, and I had 2 kids. And she got all radicalized and became a Trump supporter. So I took the dog, I took the car, and I drove straight to Los Angeles. And I'll be honest with you, like, LA was terrible. It was a nightmare. And then I met some guys. We rode some trains, and we went up to Portland. And I have to tell you guys, this is the best place, the cleanest methamphetamines that I've ever done. But the problem is a lot of these guys, all these dope users out there, you know, a lot of them aren't vaccinated. And that's the thing. They got all these needles. I don't want to catch COVID. You know what I mean? Like, I'm triple vaccinated. And I think everything, and I mean, I'm telling you, this El Camino, I've been parked on this street for 3 weeks. Nobody has said anything at all. It is so chill. Dude, you can smoke all day in the purest
This is
Molly
El
I've
Camino.
ever
It's an
seen.
El Camino.
Like, you can stay up all night and it's chill in Portland. In Texas, if you stay up all night, it's terrible. And like, man, what happened at the federal building, it was sweet that y'all were so chill about it, because a lot of my boys were the ones starting those fires. And like, I know some family friends that went down on January 6th to Washington, D.C., and now they're in jail forever. Like, they're going to be in jail forever. So that's so tight that you're able to hook us up, Mayor Miller, and not mess us up like those loser Trump supporters. Portland is chill. So guys, if y'all want,
He does this shit like every day
fentanyl's clean,
on Twitter.
the Molly is clean. The PCP, the GHB. Oh my, the cleanest GHB I've ever seen. Oh my God, me and my boy Fez, we were tripped out for 4 hours, dude. We were at the McDonald's. Dude, I had 6 McChickens. Dude, I don't even eat meat, man. It was sick. Portland is like, if you're chill and you like to smoke and you like old art movies, dude, you can smoke all day, watch old movies. They'll let you take your dog in the theater. They let you take your dog in the theater. They don't do any of that crap in Texas. In Texas, they got all these rules. They got all these cops. They pull you over.
All right. I can't help it. But people should do more of this. This is my point to like agorism and anti-politics. This is kind of like my soft segue into that. But like, everybody should be doing this to all their city council meetings right now.
Was that in New Mexico too? Where the fuck was that?
That guy's in Texas, but he trolls everywhere.
But do you remember when there was like some fucking politician talking? I think he was like trying to. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. And somebody flew in a fucking drone with a rainbow dildo on it. You remember that? And they were like, there's a big fat dildo buzzing around his head, and people freaked out. Like,
that's like when people threw a banana at Dave Chappelle out here.
I didn't know that.
That's the kind of shit we're into, bro. Hell yeah. Dave Chappelle was being a bitch about that, but then he kind of recovered. But he totally whined about it for like a week. He's like, "Oh, somebody threw a banana at me in Santa Fe," but I'm like, "Yeah, you staged that. Santa Fe is some Antifa motherfuckers. I've been trying to low key expose them out here, slowly but surely."
The Antifa,
dude, we got the Party for Socialism and Liberation that just like exploits every like police killing or exploits any like this or that. Like, I don't know. They're shady for sure. They all are like blue-haired, ugly women.
Shout out to my homie Caleb Brown. He fucking posted a tweet the other day. He said, "Any doctors out here? I have a question. Why does what did he say? He said, why does being overweight in women sometimes turn their hair blue?"
Yeah, why does that happen?
Yeah, dude, that's so goddamn funny.
It's kind of like sad. Like I get it to like a fundamental like if it wasn't so stereotypically true, I'd feel like bad about it. But it's like definitely like a weird like semi-cult thing happening out here. Like I don't know, man. I feel bad for him. I think that it's just a lot of sad, unfuckable people that find on either side, right?
Yeah,
like they make fun of incels for like they got like 8 years.
They are goddamn incels, except that they probably
women.
fuck each other. So here's the difference: they're both true. Fucking incels. They're both gross and ugly. The problem is this: if you're a fat, gross, ugly pig of a dude, no one is gonna fuck you. If you're a fat, gross pig of a girl, somebody's gonna fuck you, even if it's another one of you. So maybe that's why they go lesbian, because they're like, hey, I guess let's fuck each other and we'll pretend we like it. And like, I think I can find your fat hidden cave somewhere because I know how to find mine. Because so.
KB even weighed in on this. If them 600 pounds can get a man, anyone can.
Mm-hmm. Some of them can, dude. Somebody wants to fuck their gross little hole, if they can find it. But,
we won't get to that. Yeah.
But I was gonna say, but the poor incel dudes, nobody wants to fuck them. It's a tragedy, but it's true.
All right, we got a few more video clips for you. Did you see this comedian fall down on stage like she was just
I saw that last night
by Jesus? I wanted to like show this to people because this was fucking crazy, just in every sense of the word. But not even the beliefs of what she said.
I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest.
Like 3 strikes are out.
I had a shingle shot too.
You call it Jesus?
And I still get my period.
Done.
What? Yes.
You get booster, period.
Traveled,
but you don't get Jesus.
Went to Mexico twice. Did shows, meet and greets. Never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
And people fucking laugh because they think it's a joke. Was it a joke? Did she really collapse? Like,
no, she literally fractured her skull and like did a video from the hospital and all that. Allegedly,
I mean, because she was at the Improv, so like, I don't know. I thought she might have been joking around because that's funny as shit too. Pretend like she just drops some. Huh?
The timing is a little bit too spot on. What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting, but I mean, fuck. I mean, it's still funny as shit. If she for a joke fractured her own skull, then you know what? Good for her. She committed. She committed to the joke, and
that's like next level Daniel Day-Lewis shit.
I appreciate it, man.
That motherfucker's still a shoe cobbler. That motherfucker's still making shoes after that last movie. You know, maybe that's what she's trying to do here.
I don't know. I thought that was funny. Yeah, she doesn't look hot. Like she, like I saw that. No, I mean like not like sexy, but like she didn't look good. Homegirl. Yeah, I don't know, man. Fuck.
I'm just pausing this video really quick before you transition. Yeah, that was a crazy fucking video. Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was real or not.
So this is kind of like if you saw my first comment on here on my YouTube tonight, it said, what did it say? Wow, Michael Malice at Thaddeus Russell aired tonight. Yeah. What a coincidence. So do you know about this controversy at all and why Thaddeus Russell is going
I had heard it originally. Like, I heard it when this came out like a year or two ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I got uncomfortable listening to the episode. To be honest with you, man, I love Thaddeus Russell. I think he's fucking brilliant, man. I really enjoy his takes on things. I think that he's an important fucking voice. Like, even now, he's having some really interesting conversations with people. That's some creepy shit. I don't know if he fucks kids. I don't think he does. But Jesus Christ, to see like
this is kind of
he's defending it.
This is like the poison of academia, and like at a certain point, like I feel like there's these people, like especially on the left, where like I don't know, it's like these people want to flirt with like libertarian and leftism a little bit.
But here's the thing:
too much.
That's not libertarianism. That's libertinism.
Yeah.
So libertarianism is like do no fucking harm, take no shit. Now, fucking a kid is doing harm, and you get a fucking bullet in your head. That's not libertarianism. That's libertinism,
so
where they think that
having these conversations, and Michael Malice is having Thaddeus Russell on tonight to kind of rebut some of this. Just fascinating.
Good. He should. And here's the thing: I want to hear a better. Here's the thing about Thaddeus Russell, though, is like he's such a contrarian dude. I think he'll double down.
You think so?
Sincerely, I don't think he's gonna be like. Yeah, I don't think he's been fucking saying this for years. This is his.
Yes, this is shit.
Yeah, this is his fucking thing. So like, I don't think it would be a bitch move of him actually to apologize. Like you'd be Joe Roganing right now. He needs to double down. He needs to fuck a kid live on Michael Malice's show.
Oh God,
that's the only way that he can earn my respect back.
Well, people, I'm sure there's a few people just completely out of the loop, just wondering, like, what the fuck are these guys talking about
let's
right
play
now?
the video.
So let's just show them what they were talking about.
That an adult male wants to have sex with a 12-year-old girl. Imagine that she's a willing participant. A very
just imagine
very widely held view that there's something deep.
Imagine for a moment, if you will,
independent of it being criminalized.
It's not this 12-year-old spreading her gash on purpose.
And I think that exploring why
this guy looks like a fucking pedophile.
Things about
no doubt
child sex and statutory rape, but also about fundamental principles of morality. Well, there's a couple of things to say here. One is, even if you are looking for a threshold, let's say there's a threshold. I'm making this number up, but let's say it's at age
Sorry
8.
For that, people.
Age 8.
That tells you that
that's what he just fucking said. The threshold is age 8.
Second, the notion that it's wrong even with a 1-year-old is not quite obvious to me. There are reports in some cultures of grandmothers filleting the baby boys to calm them down when a colicky. Now, I don't know if this is true, but this is
I don't know.
In at least one culture, and it working, that the grandmothers believe this actually works. If this were to be true, and again, I don't know it to be true, if it were to be true, it's hard to see what would be wrong with it. So, yeah, I guess I think, no, I don't think there's a blanket period beyond which this is permissible. If we're interested in willing participation, which is the way I structured it, then yeah, there's a point below which people aren't willing to participate in anything because they don't have intentions or they don't have the sort of mental states that allow for willing participation. But no, I don't think it's blanket wrong at any age. They might think that children can't be willing things in general. It's an odd view in that they seem to will things all the time. They will participation in kickball. They will showing up, participating in the bar mitzvah lessons, bat mitzvah lessons. So there's all sorts of.
God, he's just so weird, and like there's like another minute here.
Let's pause it there for a second.
Yeah.
To me, this is exactly what happens when you get rid of God. Now, you might be an atheist yourself. I don't know, but as a culture, when you get rid of God, I guarantee you, this guy's an atheist.
No doubt.
I guarantee you this guy's an atheist, because when you get rid of God and you get rid of any established morality, then what is wrong with a 1-year-old? What I mean, because there's nothing special about sex. There is nothing that like God gave us sex for something, for pleasure, but also to procreate. Like there is no like waiting till you're married. There is no like this is something sacred that I share with a sacred partner. There's nothing sacred about sex. Then why is it different than shaking hands? You know what I mean? And that's where they take it, and that's where you can get that argument. When you throw out God, you open up this Pandora's box.
And then what happens once you start getting rid of the husbands and those institutions and the Christian foundation, the state starts to creep in, and then there's this new technocratic thing where gender's a scientific
wants
basis,
to fuck your kids.
and there's like a psychological Frankfurt Institute legacy.
Look at Joe Rogan. I'm not Joe Rogan. Look at Joe Biden. Look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden wants to suck your baby's dick. He wants to fillet your 1-year-old.
Mario excited because he thinks Joe Rogan's part of a secret sex society out there in California. That's a whole different thing I don't know about, but he's probably about to go nuts now that I said that. We'll just wait. He's the best, dude. He needs to start doing YouTube more, but he doesn't want to be on camera. So here's what Thaddeus Russell's defending tonight. 36 seconds.
The adult child sex. That's always a big seller.
Oh yeah. Well, that
I had good friends who said, "Are you crazy? Do not write that book."
Man, listen, you're talking to a guy who for 25 years has been making arguments more or less in defense of adult child sex in classrooms. And I don't know if it's the same argument as yours, but I even
this is going to be harder than an N-word,
in which I called into question the age of consent
harder
laws,
than a hard R,
which is, and I brought to bear the arguments I was making in class.
This is something actually worth. I like Thaddeus Russell, but Jesus Christ, man, this is something that could actually be cancelable. You know what I mean?
And that's why
it's different than saying a word. It's different than saying a word.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan was just literally like quoting this context. That Planet of the Apes joke, by the way, was horrible.
What context it's in. I mean, it's better that he wasn't directly calling someone that. Like, you're a blank. That's much worse.
It shouldn't have ever happened. But this is like so much and they just entertain this kind of thought in academia. These are just like common thoughts allowed to be like taught until now. There's a backlash finally in colleges. So parents are starting to realize the CRT things.
Here's the thing, though. We have to make peace with, or we have to face up to pedophilia has been a part of human culture forever. And it's only been since like 1900s that we decided there was a line and that you're not supposed to cross it. And then we haven't really enforced it until like the 1980s?
If that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the child sex, like the satanic ritual abuse stuff, then all of a sudden that came to the forefront, and then all of a sudden we're like, we're going to put people in prison for doing that because, like,
they call it a hoax.
Honestly, dude, people used to get away with rape until the 80s. Like, they'd be like, what was she wearing? She probably asked for it. You know what I mean? Like, this country and like in the world in general, it has, a lot to face up to as far as like sexual crimes and us being okay with it. And why did the police not want to charge it? Probably because he fucking rapes people.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's like, he probably got drunk and raped some girl one night. And he's like, well, I don't want to put him in prison for that. It's just one mistake. That sort of boys will be boys kind of shit. Like, I'm not a fucking male feminist. I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying, in general, this world is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's getting
and there's been a lot of fucked up things, and we're just now saying, like, really making the case. No, stay the fuck away from our kids, and I think that's been a relatively like in the last 40 years sort of thing.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about, right? Because I used to always have this quote. I was just like, man, my grandparents they were fucking savages. Like, they were savages back. They just go back a couple generations, three generations.
Dude, yeah, exactly. Like,
it's not that long ago.
Like, dude, a family member of mine, was conceived via rape, and they were forced to get married after, and that's just grandpa. That's grandpa. He raped grandma. That's all. That kind of shit is just, that shit is like,
it happens.
That was okay. Not okay, but it was kind of like, well, he's got to marry her after. And so then she has this trauma of like, this motherfucker raped me and is like, I guess this is my husband now.
Yeah.
Like,
Seriously.
it's fucked up, dog.
Now we're going to get to like, this is going to be kind of a rough video for people. It's 54 seconds long. We're going to get to more like Second Amendment. This is a body cam footage of like a really horrible police shooting. This is my first time watching it.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen it. I've only heard bits and pieces about the story, so I'm going in fresh.
Yeah, we're just going to watch this, and they slow it down, and there's not much. There's no narration on it, so we'll just watch it.
I'll give you my bias. ACAB.
Yeah, I get it. No, this is the kind of thing that gets me more to that side every day.
So how does the cop have keys?
He had a key fob somehow.
So if this was in an apartment, maybe like they went to the landlord and got the fucking keys, you think? Something like that? And they were...
Apparently they had a warrant for his cousin, but did not have a warrant for him. But they had.
But still, how did they get that fucking key? They must have gone to like the fucking landlord or whoever and got the fucking keys, and the landlord let him
Which
take
would be
it.
illegal.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it should be in any just world. This is slowed down, so it's why the audio is distorted. Wow, right away.
But why? I don't even understand why they shot him.
He had a gun under his blanket or something.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He's allowed to.
He had
They should have said...
they had a legally registered.
I don't fucking, dude, to me, to be honest with you, there's no such thing as a crime that takes away, like, if our rights are given to us by God, then the state is no one to tell me that I can't have a right to carry a fucking gun to defend myself.
This is crazy. They gave him no chance. They said they gave him 6 seconds is what they saw, or what. Like,
so I'll give you
recorded.
my fucking spiel on the Second Amendment here. The Second Amendment, to be honest with you, like, I'm kind of a Lysander Spooner type of guy. He basically said the Constitution has either allowed this tyranny to happen or it was too weak to stop it. So either way, it's unfit to exist. Right? That's
right.
like basically, I didn't do it perfectly, but that's basically what Lysander Spooner said. He said, like, basically the Constitution, it either fucking explicitly allowed this or it was too much of a cuck to fucking stop it from happening. And either way, the fucking state took this power that they weren't supposed to, right? But I still believe in fundamental God-given rights. And so what that means is that if I was given a right by God to defend myself, I don't care if I'm a felon. I don't care if I broke your fucking law. I don't believe in your fucking law. I don't believe in your authority. Fuck you. I'll carry a gun till I fucking die. So I don't care if felons carry guns. Now that sounds, some people are going to be like, but they're this and that and the other. Well, you should be carrying a gun too.
This is like,
I think grandmas should be carrying guns. I think that once your child turns 5 years old, you should be teaching them basic gun safety. You should be teaching them how to take your gun apart, clean it, put it back together. Like my son had a fucking BB gun when he was like 6. I'd fucking teach him fucking gun safety. He's a hell of a shot. He's a fucking great shot. Like we don't fuck around in this house. Like I got a 4-month-old. I don't, it's too soon right now, but when he's like 3, I'm going to be fucking taking him out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe 5. I think 5 is
this is kind of where I'm just like, I just go to like straight to like natural law, like old school.
That's
like, basic.
That's what it is. Natural law.
Like if you're out there in the fucking wilderness and you have like, okay, this tribe has smaller rocks and you figured out how to use these bigger rocks in your slingshot, do you just like have to play by the rules of like the majority and like what everybody else uses to defend themselves? Or should you be able to use a superior weapon if you have the knowledge, the technology? Like,
so what you're saying is everyone should be able to have nukes at home. We need recreational nuclear weapons.
I would love to have.
I want a
like
fucking Black Hawk helicopter.
Just like the ones like the fireworks, remember those like little batteries you would have, like those little 100 tiny little missile rockets. If those were just like little like tiny little nukes that you could light off and just direct. But we gotta.
Hellfire drones. I want some.
Oh man, God, it's gonna get dark really quick. That's for sure.
So, I saw that video now, and Jesus Christ, that was fucked up.
That last one, the Thaddeus Russell.
Well, yeah, that was fucked up. But I meant the shooting, the police shooting.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there was enough of them. They should have fucking pointed guns. They should have said, "Police, drop your fucking weapon," or whatever. Like, get on the fucking ground, whatever. They should have given him a fucking chance to surrender.
Yeah,
it's
and the
pretty
person
fucking
is,
outrageous.
Like, known as like a deep sleeper. Like everybody in his family, like is just like he sleeps. He just knocks the fuck out, and nothing in that showed him as like a threat. Like I didn't see the gun. They're saying that the gun is pointed at them, but I didn't see.
I don't think so. I didn't see that shit either.
I don't think so at all.
And even if they did, even if he had a fucking gun pointed at them, guess what? Those people are home invaders.
That's right. And he had no.
Did they knock?
They said they announced, but then they just did the key fob. They didn't really like.
Yeah, they didn't fucking pound on the door. No, like I don't buy that shit.
But
I
even
think
then,
things are
people sleep
fucking
through
liars.
that.
Yeah, and then even then, yes, even fucking then, if you break into a fucking house, I think it's justified to get shot in the fucking face.
No doubt.
Even if you're a pig. Fuck you, pig.
My shit's loaded. Right
yeah,
here.
I sleep with one too. So
yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, so are we watching Dave Chappelle? Is that what you?
Yeah, we only got a couple more videos. Thank you so much for joining for so long. I thought, we end up chatting longer, than I thought. But we always have fun whenever we chat. Let's see this. Did you see this video about him railing against the affordable housing in his city?
I've never seen this though.
This is funny. This just came out.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Dave Chappelle. I just want to say, and Marianne, I could talk to you about this privately. I don't know why the village council would be afraid of litigation from a $24 million a year company while they X out a $65 million a year company. I cannot believe
Talk about
you make an
himself.
audition for you. You look like clowns. I am not bluffing. I will take it all off the table. That's all. Thank you.
So he has $65 million pumped into this city, and he's threatening to take it all off the table if this real estate development goes ahead with this development plan to make it all affordable housing rather than just basic real estate. And I thought that was like a fascinating take from a supposed liberal type.
Well,
there in Ohio.
yeah. That's what liberals become when they get rich.
Seriously.
Dude, I mean, you gotta fucking understand. Look at your neighborhood.
Horrible.
When you fucking
let next.
That fucking sucks to say, dude. But when you have that affordable housing in, like, I used to live. I'm from California. I used to live in a little town called Eureka, California. I used to live in a neighborhood called Myrtletown, and it was this little neighborhood that was like old people. It was untouched. It wasn't like rich. I mean, there were some rich people there, but they were fucking nice houses that people had fucking worked their ass off. They'd bought, you know what I mean? Like picket fence, like a nice fucking neighborhood. And I lived in a fucking duplex because there was some cheap, affordable housing there. So I was part of the trash. It's fine. But
yeah, I feel that.
But they started building these like really cheap little apartments. And well, the other fucked up thing is they started moving drug rehab centers in. And dude, and it really does. I get why he wants, and that's the question. It's like people need cheap, I guess, affordable houses, right? For like, if it's going to be a transition thing, like you got to work your ass up. You got to fucking, you got to fucking buy a spot or, rent a spot. But like, how do you keep the crazies, the druggies, how do you keep them out?
There's no great answer, and out here, our cops
not without force. Yeah, not without force. And so, like, to be honest, man, like I hate the fucking cops. Like I don't want the fucking cops to be doing it. And the only reason why I hate the cops, here's the reason. When I say I hate the cops, I don't fucking necessarily hate an individual that's a police officer. I hate the fucking structure behind it because it's publicly funded. And so that means that their incentive structure is all wrong. If they fuck up, they cannot be held accountable the same way. Right. If this was a private security situation, then this community hires this fucking private security. They are held accountable to that community that pays their fucking wage. And so they make the fucking rules. They say like, yes, kids like can like be out until like 10 o'clock. Then you got to take them home or what, you know, whatever it is. And if there's a homeless person, you have to escort them and kick them out. Like you could come up with, you know, like covenant society sort of like, I mean, it's the same sort of thing with like a gated community. They have security guards. They don't even fuck around with the cops.
So
because they don't need to.
This is like really, man, we're going to end on this video, wrap it up. So final thoughts, but I'm going to show you the case of some horrible security guards at a Smith's less than a quarter mile from my apartment, the one that I try to go to. I'm not going to go there anymore, but look at this disaster from these guys that they probably make $12, $13 an hour. These guys are armed now, but I don't know if you know what's going on with Kroger, but they've been going on a strike nationwide. They want more security. They're like really, they've been.
We have Kroger up here. We have Kroger up here, but it's called Fred Meyer. Kroger bought
we have Smiths, so that's what it is out here. But this is like this is over a case of beer. So I want to show you what happened over a case of beer at our local grocery store where I live.
Many people still shaken up this morning after a scary scene that took place at an Albuquerque Smith's over the weekend.
A disaster.
Yesterday morning surveillance footage shows a security guard wrestling with a robber at the Smith's on Yale and Cole. APD says the suspect tried to steal a case of beer. Now on his way out, the security guard confronted him. That's when police
Just
say
let him have the beer, bro.
On the guard. Gilbert Gallegos, a spokesperson for APD, says that this is an example as to why legislators need to pass the crime bills being presented during the legislative session.
We're seeing this every single day. Our officers are seeing it, and the public's sick and tired of seeing it.
Oh, they're not going to show the
no
rest of
arrests
it?
have been made in yesterday's attempted robbery.
Oh, man.
So what happened?
So there's like two other dudes came in with guns and confronted that security guard over it on video. Apparently it's not on there, but two other dudes came in right after, demanded the gun back. The security guard was like, no, like, I'm not going to give you the gun back, but then they all ran off. Like,
okay, I thought they shot him. So here's my thoughts, man. This is fucked. So I've got homies that are called illegalist, insurrectionist, anarchists. And so like to them, they go by the, what's the word that I'm looking for? They go by, what do commies talk about? They talk about class structure, their class system, I guess. That's I guess the word that I'm looking for. So their class structure, their class system, basically is the same as agorists. So that's what I am, right? So like commie class structure is like there's the proletariat, there's bourgeois, this, that, and the bourgeois, the fucking, and it's whatever, and it's broken up by economic class. And to be honest, there are something to be said about economic classes and hierarchies or whatever, but agorists make it simple, and agorists make it simple in the way that it's like there are the government and their cronies that exist through monopolies and funding and things like that from the government. So people that get paid from the government, their job is paid through the government, or cronies that get like huge contracts and monopolies from the government to make an unfair advantage, and everyone else. So it's government, their cronies, and everybody else. So that's it. There's two people in this class structure. Yeah. And so their argument is something like this, something like Kroger, something like Target, something like Starbucks, some big fucking company like that. They would say, fuck them. They're getting huge contracts, mega contracts from the government. They're also exploiting their workers in the way that like they pay them basically just fucking enough so that they can also get subsidies from the government. Like most of those people that work at Walmart are also fucking getting paid like food stamps and like
no doubt.
So a lot of those people that like the only way they survive is from subsidies from the government because they're not getting what they want. I mean, getting what they need from working a fucking 40-hour work week, right? So that's kind of fucked. It's kind of fucked, but you know, your basic bitch libertarian would say something like it's an agreed upon, like I want 40 hours of your work. This is what I'm offering you. You made a consensual agreement. Therefore it's fair. And there is something to that. Like if you fucking, but and then anyways, I could go on a tangent, but essentially the illegalist, insurrectionist anarchists are basically saying like, if it's a crony company, if it's somebody that works directly, has ties or is associated with the government, fuck them. We should be able to walk in and take their fucking TVs. We should be able to take anything we want. We will steal whatever we want. We'll take whatever we want. We'll sell it to fund our commune is basically what they're doing. And I say more power to them. If they don't get caught, like, good for you, brother. I mean, shout out to my homies that are doing that. Like, now, I would say in a structured society, like in a fucking governmentless society, like I would want, there has to be order. So if a dude is coming in there and stealing beer, that you're stealing directly from Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob owns this fucking store. This is Uncle Bob's store. You're directly attacking his property. You're directly attacking him in that way. And the full force should be like, if you're going to fucking take my beer, it's the same thing as you breaking into my house. I'll shoot you in the fucking head. So it's both ways in that way. It's like, it's the same thing that I would say to Antifa. It's like, if Antifa was only attacking like police stations and trying to burn them down, or attacking like government buildings, or like burning down a Starbucks, I'd cheer them on. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I'm not going to participate, but I'll eat popcorn and giggle. But when they attack small businesses, like here in Portland, dude, they were fucking burning down like normal, like mom and pop shops. They were breaking windows. They were attacking people that have nothing to do with like, so very much so I go by the class system of the agorists, where I'm like, there is the government and its cronies and everybody else. You don't attack everybody else. You can attack these guys. And like, again, I'm not going to participate. FBI listening. I don't do that. But so if Antifa was only attacking those things, I'd be there. I'd be a cheerleader. I'd be sitting there with fucking pom-poms shaking it, like giggling my ass off. So I guess fuck Kroger. I'm glad he got the beer. Did he get the beer? Did he get the beer and run?
Oh, hell no. Oh, no, they didn't. The police were there all day. This leads to like my darkest question of the night. This will be like my last question, and then we'll, end it. But my worry is that this is probably going to usher in, like, let's just be real. Like in Nigeria and other countries, you saw like Exxon Mobil and all these big oil companies like hiring private military force just to be like sanctioned by the governments and to like defend with like armed force. Are we going to start to see like national grocery chains just have straight up militarized police force that are beyond normal jurisdiction?
Yeah, you're already seeing it, brother. You're already seeing it. You're already seeing things like, because people are talking about how, because dude, it has been done on purpose. They purposefully, like, if you look at George Soros has been funding, like, different people's runs for things. Like he wants to get the most liberal and most progressive like DA in this area. He wants to get the most liberal and most progressive judges. He wants to get the most liberal, most progressive mayors and people. And like he's been putting hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into these people's campaigns and getting these people hired. Like he's directly tied to whatever that California piece of shit that basically said, like, if you're stealing under $1,000, we're not going to do anything. So like, if you get a fucking $700 TV and walk out, you're not going to get prosecuted. You know what I mean? They can fucking why not take a PS5?
We have a lawyer out here who's like a social, I think what she called, she's called a George Soros social fellow, and she's like all for prison abolition. Her name's Denali Wilson, and it's insane how it's infiltrating all these small states.
Well, here's the deal, man. I think that this was 100% done on purpose because George Soros likes chaos, dude. He's a fucking chaos magician.
Maniac.
That's what he is. He's a chaos magician. He's a left-hand path like wizard. He's a fucking piece of shit. And he thrives off of chaos because he can make a lot of money while it's doing it. He can bet against the country. He knows what he's doing. He's tearing this down so he can put his money over here. And so basically what I think, like my opinion, and it's several other people's opinions, this isn't original to me, that like they have allowed this to happen so that the people, this is the problem, reaction, solution. This is the Hegelian dialectic. Yeah. This is them creating this fucking crisis so people beg and scream, daddy government, we need help. Because look at fucking Chicago right now. Chicago has so many fucking deaths. Look at Minneapolis right now. They're like the murder rate has fucking skyrocketed and the cops are just backing down. They're cucking down because they're not even allowed to do anything because the police chiefs are funded by fucking George Soros and other fucking psychos. So what's happening is, yes, this whole defund the police agenda was done on purpose. This was not grassroots. This was, and if you hear it, it was never even really about defunding the police. They say that. They say defund the police. And libertarians jumped in on the bandwagon. We were like, yeah, defund the police. Let's defund everybody. You know, but like the problem is like, when you defund the police, what all you're really fucking doing is creating a fucking vacuum that's going to be filled. Like they weren't saying let's defund the police and let's hire a private security that will actually enforce and create order and create stability and peace in the neighborhoods. They weren't saying that at all. They were saying defund the police and let's get like some like social workers in here that are going to get shot in the head. You know, like it was. So my whole thoughts on this is that it's done on purpose. It's the problem, reaction, solution. We're going to be begging government. And you see this with Joe Biden, where he now is saying, because somebody brought it up to him, they were like, what about this? What about like, all these deaths in Chicago, you know, Minneapolis, the big cities? And I can hear my echo again.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Nothing happened on my end. My bad.
Let's see here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still hearing you fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can still hear my echo. I don't know if it's going through to everybody else, but whatever. I'll just finish my thought real fast.
Yeah.
That essentially, God, that's really distracting.
I'm sorry.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
So,
we'll go ahead.
Essentially, Joe Biden said that we are going to start refunding the fucking police. And what I think that it's actually going to do is that it's going to, oh, you can hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mars says that you can hear the echo. Oh, man, that's a bummer. So they're going to get rid of the local police. They're going to give us federal police is what I think. Exactly what you said. There's going to be boots on the ground. I think we'll probably also see, what do you call those people? National Guard sort of thing.
Right on. Sorry about the audio things tonight. There's a couple of glitches. We'll try to work it out next time. But thank you so much for joining. Go ahead and give a couple of last plugs if you like.
Okay, they'll hear it twice. Okay, everybody go to my Odyssey. Check out our videos. I think we've got like fucking 4 followers because I don't know how to promote my shit. So go subscribe to us on Odyssey. That'd be awesome. Listen to our podcast. We have some really interesting guests coming on. We just have fun, man.
Right on. Thank you. And once again, I apologize for everything. I'm trying to figure it out, but have a good night, everybody.